We are live in 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome everybody, and thanks for watching this. I am getting things ready. I'm making sure that everything's going up, going live over here, and I am live over there. So I'm going to close that down. And quick, taking another look around here at how things are going. All right. I'm live here. I'm at least live up on Mixer. So I'm going to put out a text on that. So mixer.com/Ryan Swanstrom. I believe this is also live out on YouTube as well. And let me get things brought up here. Okay. Well, anyhow, I'm going to jump right into this. Thanks for watching. Welcome for being here. My name is Ryan Swan, and I wanted to share a couple of things from this past week. I got to attend the Microsoft Ignite conference out in Orlando, Florida for a few days. I was a member of the media and influencer team that Microsoft invited out there to spend the week with the conference, and it was a super great conference. There was 26,000 plus people there, so it was absolutely enormous. It was a great time, tons of great sessions, tons of great keynotes that were there, lots of announcements. Some of that I'm going to talk about here. Some of it will come up in streams or future videos and future blog posts. But I wanted to update you on one that I'm planning on doing. This is kind of the beta edition of Cloud Data Science Weekly. I may change the name, I may not, but that's what I've got going on. I'm going to start making a weekly show to cover some of the big names in the cloud data science space, whether that's AWS, whether that's Google Cloud, or whether that's Azure. So how did those platforms have things that are in the data science community? And as part of that, I'm going to do this live show every week, and we're going to about some of the products that are available out in Azure or AWS or Google Cloud, but I'm also going to try to record what I'm going to call Data Science News in 60. And it's going to be a 60-second clip of me giving a rundown of news available for the week. So what are the big releases that happened? What are some important things that happened in the world of cloud data. So as part of this live show every week, I'm going to run through iterations, see if I can get that video clip into 60 seconds. So live look at sort of the behind the scenes of how many times I have to shoot it in order to get a good video that happens in 60 seconds. And that's what I have here. Then after that, I am going to give everybody a rundown of right here. This is the Microsoft swag that everybody got at the Ignite conference. So anyhow, I just got a text message. Quick looking at that, but I may be having some microphone problems. So I guess I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna keep shooting it. I apologize if the microphone sounds a little bit funny. Push this in. I maybe need to get myself a new microphone. But that's what we're going to do. So later on at the end of the show, I'm going to go through what's in the swag bag that you get at the Microsoft Ignite conference. It'll be kind of fun to look and see what is in there. But right now, what I need to do, I have a list of what do I have? I have a list of data science news for the week. And I got on my phone and I got my stopwatch on it. and I'm going to see if I can get out 60 seconds of cloud data science news. I'm going to see if I can get it all in 60 seconds. Here's what I have in the news that I want to talk about. We haven't started the recording yet, but the big Ignite conference, Microsoft launched and announced a couple of things. Azure Arc was one of their big ones that say you can now run Azure services anywhere, whether that's on-prem, out on the edge, in the Azure cloud, or in any other cloud provider you want to. Anywhere that you can run a Kubernetes service, you can use Azure services. Then Azure Synapse, it's Microsoft's next version of SQL Warehouse, and it's a data warehouse and Azure Data Lake, so that you can query from those storage locations all the same way, all in the same place. They're sort of the future version of your data. So that's what Synapse Analytics is. That's, see a little bit on my shirt. I got one of the shirts at the conference. From that, I also wrote a blog post that has a number of other important data science topics from Azure. So I'll talk about it, briefly mention it, put a link below. One other thing came out, SQL Server 2019 went out into general audience and became generally. So that was a big announcement for the week too. That one I think was kind of expected, but yeah, it went GA. Then in AWS, they put out a call for proposal. So if you're a researcher at an academic institution or you can a request for proposal to get money and or AWS credits to perform that research. So that's kind of interesting. Plus, I put out a good blog post on how you do distributed machine learning with AWS Parallel Cluster. And two things coming out of Google this week I found interesting for sharing. Their product called Scaffold, which is their Kubernetes service, is now generally available, and so is AutoML translation. So if you want to translate back and forth between languages, that is also. So that's the news that I'm going to try to cover and try to get to in a 60-second video here. And so later on, after the live show is done, chop out this 60-second part of the video, and then if it's 60 or under, I can share it. I can share it if it's longer than that, but I want to keep it to 60 seconds because that sounds like a fun task to try to do. And that's what the deal is. But let's give our very first shot. Getting my phone opened up here. Better get it out. Get my phone open up here. And I'm going to get ready to start my stopwatch. And here's what we go. Here we go. Play with that microphone a little bit. And 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this edition of Cloud Data Science in 60. Today we're going to talk about all the news from the Microsoft Ignite conference that just happened. They released a couple of interesting projects for the data science world. First, Azure Arc. It is a way to run any Azure service anywhere you can run Kubernetes. So whether that's on-prem, in a cloud, a different cloud other than Azure, or whether that is out on the edge. So that's called Azure Arc. They also released Azure Synapse Analytics, the next generation of data warehousing, and query your data that came from data or to call SQL Data Warehouse. And there was also a number of other data science related topics released, and I that so I'll be sharing that out. And also SQL Server 2019 went G, and I'm out of time. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to reset it. I talked way too much about that. We're going to try this one more time. Actually, we might end up trying this 3 or 4 more times. I don't even know if I'll be able to get it all out in 60 seconds, but I thought it was a fun thing to try live. Evidently, my sound is coming out pretty bad, so maybe I'm going to try to play around with this. What can I do with my sound? Try to fix up my sound a little bit. All Let's try. I don't know if I can change it on the fly. I did just change my sound. It's now coming through a different device. I don't know if this is going to work or sound any different. Anyhow, we'll give that a shot. See if my sound comes out differently now. But anyhow, let's try this again. Let's see if I can get it. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this edition of Cloud Data Science in 60. So this week, Microsoft had their large Ignite conference where they launched a number of interesting things that are important to the data science community. They launched Azure Arc, so you can now deploy Azure services anywhere, whether that's on-prem, on the cloud, any cloud, or out on the edge. They also announced Synapse Analytics, which is the next generation of SQL warehouse, or next generation of data warehousing. And I also wrote a blog post that I'll link below that has a number of other announcements in the data science space, plus SQL Server 2019 went generally available as well. Coming out of Amazon, they have a call for proposals for research work, if you're interested in that. And they also put out a good blog post on doing distributed machine learning using AWS Parallel Cluster. Google also went generally available with Scaffold for their Kubernetes service and AutoML translation. Hey, that was pretty close. I hit that in a minute 9 seconds, so I'm getting closer, getting better. I think I can maybe get this one to work. Let's give this another try. One more try. We're gonna see if we can get it. If we can't, maybe we'll quit and move on to something else. But 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this edition of Cloud Data Science in 60. This week, Microsoft had their large Ignite data. We're going to stop that. I didn't like the way that started. Reset. 3, 2, 1. All right. Reset. We're trying this again. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this edition of Cloud Data Science in 60. Microsoft had their very large Ignite conference this week, and they had a couple of announcements that they wanted to share and that they put out. First, Azure Arc. You can now run Azure services anywhere, whether it's on-prem, out on the edge, or in the Azure cloud, or any other cloud that you want to use. They also announced Synapse Analytics, which is the next version of SQL data warehousing. And so it combines data warehousing and data lake and one way to query it. They had a couple of other announcements that I wrote up in a blog post that I'll share below. And SQL Server 2019 went generally available. AWS had a call for research proposals come out, and they put up a good blog post on AWS Parallel Cluster and using that to do distributed machine learning. I had 2 things go generally available this week: Scaffold, their Azure Kubernetes service, and AutoML translation. That was close. I want to do that one more time because I think I can cut that down just a little bit. That was close. I'm real close. I got to talk a little bit less about Azure Arc, I believe. All right. So, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this edition of Cloud Data Science in 60. Microsoft had their huge Ignite conference this week, and they had a number of announcements coming out of there. Azure Arc was one of them. That is a way to run Azure services anywhere. And Synapse Analytics, which is the future of data warehousing, is one way to query all of your data from a data warehouse and a data lake. There was a couple of other announcements that came out. I wrote a blog post about those, so I will link to that. And SQL Server 2019 went generally available. AWS had a couple things out. They had a call for research proposals for academics and nonprofits looking to do research. And they wrote a good blog post on using AWS Parallel Cluster to do distributed computing and distributed machine learning. And Google had two things go generally available: Scaffold, their Kubernetes service, and AutoML translation for translating languages. Woo! I think I did that one. That one made it, so there you go. I'll be able to go through, pull that 60-second chunk out of the video, and have something to share a little bit other places out on the internet. And I gotta send a quick text message here. Yeah, to see if my audio got any better, because I obviously can't hear it. I think it's coming through for me. Anyhow, what I wanted to get into is a bunch of data science news, and I'll be putting up a blog post with links to all that news that is in there, and plus, yeah, I'll be sharing that out on other social networks. But right now, I wanted to go through maybe what everybody really wants to see, but what comes in the swag bag that you get at the Ignite Data Conference. So I'm going to roll this over here, get this closer, and everybody that goes to the Ignite Conference, once you checked in and got your badge, I don't even know if I have my badge here, they gave you a Microsoft, you can see it says Microsoft on it. They gave everybody a Microsoft backpack. And to go with that backpack, they threw in a nice Microsoft water bottle for you to use. I'm going to put that up over here. We had a Microsoft water bottle come through here. Here's the backpack. So a couple of rundowns. It's got a side zipper in the back. So if you wanted to slide your laptop in the back, or you can still slide it in on the top normally. I thought that was a nice little feature to put your backpack in. There's a water bottle pouch over here. On the other side, there's another little pouch. And I'll maybe pull that out a little bit later. But first of all, open this up. Let's see what's in here. First thing sitting at the top of this, I got, in addition to the shirt that I'm wearing, I got a Synapse Analytics shirt. I got a hoodie. So it says, I believe it says Limitless. It says Microsoft on the sleeve. Over here and on the back, we flip this over, it says Azure Synapse Analytics. Anyhow, since I got this, I'm going to put this one on. But so some of this stuff was available to everybody at the conference, and some of this stuff was only available back in they have some extra things for people who are part of the media team, so the media and influencers team. So some of this stuff was there. I asked to get one of these as part of the media and influencer team, so they went out and got me one of these. And so that's why I have it. I did see some other people at the conference who were wearing these, so there may have been another way to get at the conference. I mean, you may have been able to sweet talk your way into getting one of these. So, yeah. So I don't know. You probably could have got this one, maybe not. I don't know. There's a ton of stuff at the conference. There's 26,000 plus people there, and there's hundreds, maybe thousands of vendors that show up. What else is in the bag? All right, I got this Microsoft Learn hat. You know, it's a baseball cap here. Put it on. I'm not really a hat guy, but there you go. I got on the hat. If you want to do that, put that down. I got this one because I went to one of the keynote sessions. The conference is so big, they have multiple keynote sessions. And I went to one of these and I sat up front. I don't know if intentionally I sat up front or if that's just where the seats were available. I was a couple minutes late for it. But I sat up front and they had these hats sitting on all the seats front. So I got one of those. Kind of fun. I went to talk to one vendor, Rubrik. They gave me some socks. You know, that was kind of a new thing. I didn't know socks were a thing that you give out at conferences very often. What else is in the bag here? Reaching down, trying to get in the bag. Anyhow, wondering what over I get? What did I get for swag at the Ignite conference? I got a charging cord with triple N's for 3 different outputs. I don't ever remember what they're called, but 3 different outputs. You can see those. What else did we get? Oh yeah, I got a bunch of pins. This was a neat thing about the Ignite conference that I thought. Here, I'm going to set those down. You can't see them, but I'll pick them up and show them to you here in a second. They started giving out some little buttons. So I got an iHeart Q Sharp. Microsoft made a number of announcements around Q Sharp, which is for quantum computing, and they have a quantum computing SDK, and that was in there. Hopefully, I'll be doing some content around that in the future. I'm not an expert on quantum computing. I will admit, I didn't really know it was ever going to be a thing, and I've kind of ignored it for a while, and now it's starting to come back. So it is a thing now, and I probably need to start paying attention to it. I got a couple of these pins, and I don't really know what the story is behind them. I'm going to hold this up. There's these little dinosaurs. So I got these at one of Scott Hanselman's talks. Somebody else at the table was handing them out, and he was telling me that it kind of started as a joke, and now he creates these buttons to pass out. So I didn't really get what the joke or what it was all about, but if you know anything about these buttons, leave me a message or let me know somewhere how I can get in touch with this person. I don't know. I thought it was neat. It was kind of funny. He was handing out these little pins and buttons of green dinosaurs. Here's one thing that Microsoft had. They had these buttons that you could put on your badge. So let me pull out my badge. So here's what the Ignite badge looked like. It looked like this. So I had a badge. You put it on and you wear it. And they got these little buttons that you can put on there. And I'm going to hold this one a little closer so you can see it. And it would say, not talking right now. So they had that button. They had the talk to me if you know me. And then they had a talk to me anytime. So depending on what mood you were in or what type of introvert, extrovert you are, you could put those little buttons on there. I had the talk to me anytime. And I'll just tell you one strange place. I talk to a lot of just random people when I go to these events. So that was kind of funny. One of the more awkward places I talk to people at these large conferences, and especially like this one, there's a lot of males at these conferences. So there was a long line for the men's bathroom, and I started just randomly talking to people when we were waiting in line for the restroom, and that got kind of awkward. But anyhow, I did it. That's what this is. It had a couple of other buttons. So some gender identity buttons. This is just showing support for the entire gender identity topic and issue. But then they had one specifically for she and her. They had ones for they, them. And then they had ones for he, him. But that was those. That was kind of a fun thing that I got in there. There was a couple of other things, I know. These didn't come out of my bag. But I'm going to throw that on the ground anyhow. Yeah, I got a couple of stickers. Azure Synapse Analytics sticker. An Invent with Purpose. Actually, I got an Invent with Purpose t-shirt. It's not in my bag, but I wore it at the conference. It's in the laundry. Azure Storage. I got a sticker for that. And then they were giving out stickers for Azure Quantum. So there was a lot of talk and stuff for Azure Quantum. What else is in the bag? I got one of these, a Rubik's Cube. Now, I'll be honest on that one. I don't know that the Rubik's Cube was actually swag that you could take. I kind of think it was decoration on one of the swag tables. And it was sitting there, kind of turned funny. But I thought it was so neat because I'll hold it a little bit closer so you can see it. They are different sizes. All the squares are. So as you rotate through it, so when you twist it, it doesn't match up correctly and you end up with a funny shaped thing. Anyhow, I don't know how to solve the Rubik's Cube. A couple of my children do, and I'm going to let them play around with this and see if it's difficult. But I didn't want to mess it up because it would have been hard to travel if I messed it up. It may have broken or something. But that was a Rubik's Cube. It was setting as a display, and I decided to take it as part of my swag because I thought it was really cool. What else do I got back down in here? Oh, I got this from Buck Woody. If you don't know who Buck Woody is, he's a SQL Server expert, works at Microsoft. Back when I used to work at Microsoft, we were on the same team together. Super great guy, super nice, fun, helpful, does a ton of training, especially for data science. So if you don't know about Buck, check him out. But Azure Arc, it's called the Seek Tracer. I don't know exactly all of what it is, but I believe it's like a keychain that you can hook it up, and there's an app you can put on your phone, so if you lose your keys, this little device will help you find them. And I don't know if it beeps or if it uses some location through the app on your phone to be able to find it, but I'm going to try that out and play it, and play with it. If it's fun and interesting, I'll probably make a video about it, or maybe we'll even do it live sometime. But that was kind of cool. Azure Arc, play with that. What else did I get? Oh, I got a water bottle. This one doesn't even say anything on it. It's just a glass water bottle with a nice wooden lid. Anyhow, I thought it was nice. Grabbed one of those. What else do I got in here? I got a Camino cup. So this one was actually back in the media section. So I don't think these were generally available for everyone, but I got this nice Microsoft little Camino cup here, and haven't used it yet, but looks cool, looks nice. I was excited about that one. What else is in the bag? I'm running kind of short on things. Oh, I got a fan, a little portable fan. So, you gotta keep yourself cooled off. There you go, you got a fan. I thought that was fun. A cord. That one's not super exciting. Oh yeah, I got some Microsoft sunglasses, so maybe I can switch those out. Yeah, I can do the rest of my show in some sunglasses. Here we go, we're gonna try that. I think I'm just about done with my swag here. Oh, this! You can't really see what it is. It is, so I got this. Everybody that went to the Microsoft Research keynote on Wednesday. So Wednesday at, I believe it was 5 o'clock. Microsoft Research did a keynote, and Microsoft had some awesome and amazing things coming out of their research department. Project Silica, which they're storing information. They're storing data on a piece of quartz glass. I got to talk to one of the lead researchers. I got 30 minutes with a lead researcher to ask him all of my questions, and I'll be putting together some content around that. But super cool stuff coming out of Microsoft Research. Everyone that went to that event got one of these right here. It is a kaleidoscope. Why I'm wearing my sunglasses, I don't really know, but there's a kaleidoscope there. Anyhow, that's cool. I actually grabbed a couple of extras for my kids because I thought that looked kind of fun. But that was cool. Those were there. What else do we got left in here? Oh, I have one other thing left. I got one of these. I don't know if these were available to everyone either, but this is a portable wireless battery charger pack. It says Microsoft on the front, so if you have a wireless charging phone, you can just set it right on top and it'll charge it. If you look on the back, it's kind of hard to see, but it's got an outlet coming right out of the back, so you can plug it into your wall. And so I use this, plus it has, if I can pull these out, plus it has little cords to charge all of your devices. It's got all the inputs you would need if you actually need to charge something that has a separate type of device. There's a USB port on that end, so you can plug in whatever cord you want. Anyhow, I got this one back in the media influencers section, so I don't know if these were available anywhere else out on the conference, but it was cool. I picked one up. I believe that's all I've got left. I kind of want to run down the bag a little bit more. I thought this was nice and informative. Like they didn't give you just a cheap chintzy bag. This is like a real backpack, and it's nice. It's got a little side pocket over here. You can put things in. So on your little lip that comes over the top, there's a little compartment up in there. You can fill it up with all sorts of stuff if you want to. And yeah, I mean, they got little ports on the side if you want to run your headphones or earphones out there. It's probably kind of hard to see inside, but there's a little mesh compartment. Right, let's see how well I can get to view in there. Anyhow, there's a mesh compartment on the inside back of it. If you want to store things like pens or small pieces of paper, they have a slot here to put your laptop in. Plus, they have a slot in front of that if you have like a tablet or something else to put in there. It's really, really quite large. So you can put a lot of stuff in here. It was super comfortable to wear. I actually didn't use it during the week, but on my way home, I had to swap it out because it wouldn't fit in my back or in my luggage. I swapped it out with my other back, and I checked my suitcase, and I just brought this home on the airplane with me, and I wore it around the airport and a little during that day, and it was really comfortable. I was happy I wore it. But anyhow, I'm going to take my sunglasses off now because that was kind of fun. I don't need to keep wearing those, but put my regular glasses back on. Anyhow, that's what came from Microsoft Swag, at least that I got. I guess everyone that went to the conference came home with different swag. I didn't go visit a ton of the vendors. I did get a Code 42 t-shirt, I believe, but I didn't spend a lot of time going around talking to all the vendors and trying to collect swag. I think some people go to the conference that's big enough, you can fill an entire suitcase of swag if you want to. But I went looking for specific things, and I went to try to find and talk to the right people that could answer some of my questions about the latest in machine learning, the latest in what's coming out from Microsoft Data Science, and I went to look at some of the products that were there and some of the new releases and talked to some of the engineers. So one of the great things about the Ignite conference is Microsoft sends a ton of program managers and engineers out to the conference, and they have booths set up so you can go talk to the engineers, you can talk to the people that are building these products, and you can ask them your questions, and you can talk about what's the roadmap look like, what are the things you're doing, what are use cases you plan on this. So it's fun to go talk to a lot of those engineer type people. Anyhow, I think that's the end of what I'm coming at here. I don't got much else there. If you have questions or you want to know more about the Ignite conference, or if there's something else you'd like me to talk about that I didn't cover here, just leave a comment or leave a note, and I will hope to either answer that or make a video or a blog post about it going ahead in the future. But thanks for watching right now. I'm going to grab a drink from, this is not swag from the conference, but when I went to Texas Tech, it's probably been 3 or 4 years ago, I went there to visit, and they gave me a mug. Great school by chance. If you ever get a chance to go visit or attend school there, highly recommend it. That was not an endorsement or a commercial or a sponsored anything. I just have the cup, and I'm a fan of Texas Tech, so I did not go there, but anyhow, I went there to visit, talk to some of the students, and visited a couple of classes, so that was fun. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I hope you found this somewhat fun and entertaining, but look forward to these in the future. I'm going to start doing these weekly shows to talk about news and information related to cloud data science. Also leave comments if you think that these would be better. I'm not sure if I'm going to do demos in part of these after I go over the news. I might set up some demonstrations of how you do various things in the cloud, probably data science, machine learning related, or I might do some interviews with some people, try to get a one-on-one interview if I can figure out what software I need to set that up. I can run a live interview with 2 people, but that'd be kind of fun. So if you have somebody that you'd like to see interviewed, maybe you can let me know in the comments as well. But thanks for watching, and have yourself a great Saturday and a great weekend. Goodbye, folks.